Hey guys, today I'm making a leaf sugar cookie decorated with a ombre effect with standing sugar, and it's just in time for Thanksgiving. So starting off with the ingredients, you will need 3/4 cup of butter, 3/4 cup of sugar, 1 large egg, 2 and 1/4 cups of all-purpose flour. You will also need some baking powder, a half a teaspoon, and you will need 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract and a large bowl. And you will also need a leaf cutter. So starting off in the large bowl, you will add some butter and you will beat that on high for 1 minute. Then you add some sugar and you beat that for 3 to 4 minutes. Then you will just add in 1 egg and your vanilla extract. I added in 2 and 1/4 teaspoon in this because I didn't have almond extract. But if you have almond extract, then you can add in that. Then you just mix that up until it's combined. Then you get your dry ingredients together and you just add in the baking powder and the flour. And you could add in salt here, but since I'm using salted butter, I decided not to. But if you use unsalted butter, I recommend adding some salt. So you just add in about half of the flour into the mixture and you can just mix it up. And then after that, you can add the other half. And I decided to use the mixer because it combined it way easier than my hand. So yeah, you can do that, and I did it off camera. So right now I'm just scraping the sides and getting it all clean and make sure I get everything. Then you can divide the dough in half and put each section into some plastic wrap, and you need to refrigerate this dough for at least an hour and up to overnight. I decided to do overnight, and you can do that as well, or just up to an hour, but I recommend you must do this for some good cookies. Alright, so you can just flour your surface and also make sure you flour your rolling pin before you start rolling out your dough. Now you can do this as thin and as thick as you want. I just did it for as long as I felt like I needed to. But as you can see here, my dough is a bit stiff, so I recommend leaving your dough out for a few minutes before you start rolling it out. Probably 10 to 15 minutes, especially if you do it overnight. If you do it for an hour, probably won't take that long. But yeah, so just keep rolling out your dough until you get your desired length and size. Alright, so right here I just take my leaf cutter and I just start cutting out as many pieces I can out of this dough. And so yeah. Okay, so just preheat your oven to 350 and you can get a lined baking sheet and line up your cookies. You put them as close together as you want because they will not spread. And you just bake those cookies to 8 to 11 minutes. And then now I just have some buttercream frosting, which I added a little bit of cinnamon to, which I'll leave the recipe down below. And also I have some orange sanding sugar. I have some white sanding sugar, and I also have some yellow sanding sugar. So this will create the ombre effect. So you just start off by frosting a cookie. I frosted mine pretty thin. You can go a little bit more thick if you feel like, but I decided to go thinner because I felt like the sanding sugar would stick better. Also, I chose buttercream frosting instead of royal icing because, again, I felt like the sanding sugar would stick better. So you just continue frosting the cookies, and then you will start with the white standing sugar. Alright, so you can just add the white standing sugar to the bottom of the cookie. I just did a small section on the bottom of the cookie. You can do more if you want, but I like to leave room for the other colors. Alright, so I just frosted all of those cookies and did white standing sugar. So right now you just want to take your white standing sugar bowl and add some of the yellow. This will create a good ombre effect because it will have a little bit of the other color before that you used. So you just add a bit of yellow and then you can start adding the next layer to your cookies. So yeah. So now after you do that layer, you can just add a lot more yellow because you want this to be more yellow than white before. So you just add in a lot of the yellow and then you can do your next layer of the color. Alright, so now this is where we start adding the orange into our ombre effect. So you can just start adding some orange into the mixture that we had before. And you just mix that up and then you can add the next layer to your cookies. I added a lot of orange into this, but you can do as much or as little as you want. Alright, so after you finish doing that to all of your cookies, you can get your orange standing sugar and you can just directly add that to the cookie. You don't have to mix it to the other mixture because I want to keep this very orange rather than having other colors mixed in it. And after you finish doing that, you have your finished cookie and it has this beautiful ombre effect. Alright, and here is a close-up of the cookie. I really hope you enjoyed this video. Please like, share, and subscribe, and I'll catch you next time. Bye!